All right, race fans, welcome. We're live tonight here at Iowa Speedway. Sim500 Truck Series presented by SimSpeedShop.com here tonight. Wednesday night racing. And boy, it's going to be a good one. Short track action here tonight. And we've got a huge field on a short track in the middle of qualifying right now. And as always, myself, Joe White, up here, accompanied by Gerald. Gerald, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, Joe. How about you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. I'll tell you what, short track here, just in comparison, let's give a little info on it. Iowa is showing 0.88 miles, maybe a little. We'll just say 3/4 of a mile, a little less than a mile either way. Temperature out there 80 degrees on the track temp, and I believe it was about 78 degrees on the weather. So, kind of a cool track, good grip, like you said earlier.
Yeah, they should have plenty of grip. So to make for a side-by-side racing here, a lot of pressure going to be on these guys because they're in the bracket or whatever. So I think we're going to be 8 guys coming out of this race tonight here in the bracket.
Nice, I tell you what. Well, here you go. Justin Fuller, he's on top, man. I tell you what, that guy's got a fast truck, and he's just fast every time you turn around.
Yeah, and he dominated last week, you know, and then he had that mix-up there in the race, which it kind of cost him the race there. So he's coming back strong this week, and he's going to try to capitalize here at Iowa.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, like I said, short track racing, as always, man, we got to throw this out. You know, me and you up here, kind of one of our things. Let's think about the cautions tonight. What do you think might see out here?
Well, I mean, considering they got a lot of grip, you know, it's going to make for a lot of competitive racing, and they're going to be a real close side by side, maybe 3 wide here at times. So I would have to guess 4, maybe 5, and I hope I'm wrong.
All right, yeah, all right, God, yeah, I hope you're wrong on that too, but heck, I'll go with 4. Yeah, I'm right around that area with you, man. I you know, hopefully it goes like it did this past Monday with Sim500 in Michigan, caution free, but we'll have to see. The thing about a track like here tonight, you know, and I know, Gerald, with it having so much grip, so many trucks out here, what that does is it puts the lap times within tenths of each other, and lo and behold, it puts everybody in a bunch for so long, and you almost can go wide open for so long. Well, that leaves not much room for error.
Yeah, you know, and you know, as you said, the top 10 are only 2/10 apart. A lot of them are in the 2s there, and you know, Justin Fuller, he's at the top of the charts. He's threw down a 23:097. He's the fastest so far. He was the fastest in practice. He ran a little bit faster here than he did in practice. He ran a 151 in practice, and he stepped it up a little bit, ran a 097. So he's definitely fast, and he's definitely got a shot at this one.
Well, you know, just to look right now, the top 29 trucks, and this is just the top 29 here, Gerald, are only separated by 0.6. I mean, man, just that right there tells you that's side by side.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was saying just a second ago, you know, and as we say week in and week out, these guys, it's stacked over here, the Sim500 guys, and they're bringing around 40 trucks a week, and that's a lot of trucks here at Iowa. It's about a 1-mile track here, and, you know, Michigan's a little easier to go caution free. It's a 2-mile track there. So they're cutting half of that track away, and they're going to put them all on this little oval here, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I know it's going to be a good one, as always.
A lot of action. Probably going to be from the green flag to the checkered flag, like we always say. Definitely out here right now. Justin Fuller still holding on to the top spot. Trey Edson. Is that right? Edson? Is that right?
Yeah, Edson, you're close.
Didn't he say that was a newcomer out here? I haven't heard that name.
Hey, if he's new, he's doing the right thing. He's up there right behind Justin Fuller, and you know, I'm sure everybody knows Justin Fuller by now.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Coleman there, Thomas George up there, Steve Goschalk. I mean, it's who's who of names here for the truck series out here tonight, and just kind of looking to see maybe we're old famous. I don't see a man out there. Maybe I'm just not looking. Jose Gonzalez, don't see him, or EJ O'Rourke. There's EJ. He's up in the third. He popped up in the third.
Yeah, you know, I was looking through these trucks too, and you know, sometimes Jose, he just don't seem to to be able to show up to these races, which is, totally normal. There's a lot of things going on and in your real life, so you got to handle those things, and it's just part of it. We do this for fun, but we definitely take it serious.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Justin Fuller, man, still the man out front. He's going to try to redeem himself from last week and a mess up on pit road. He's going to see if he can't get it done. Trey, I'm going to say the newcomer Trey until I find out otherwise of who he is. Just the name does not ring a bell, and I'm sorry if he's been out here for so many times the past league. Maybe my right side man here can do some investigative reporting on the site and see if he's looks up the stats on Trey for us.
Yeah, we'll definitely check it out here. But he's going to be starting right on that outside row, and he's going to have his hands full because he's got EJ and Jimmy and Justin up there. And you know how those guys run. They're definitely full blast, and they get it going pretty quick.
Man, no doubt about it. It's got Matthew Welsenbach out here, all too Sean Bounty, just to name a few of the few out here. Just kind of looking through the field here. As it looks like we got 32 machines put down the time. There's a few of them out there that have yet. Scott Simley, though, looks like he's going to try to put down one out here. I want to appreciate everybody tuning in because we're live here tonight. Iowa Speedway for the Sim500 Wednesday Night Truck Series presented by SimSpeedShop.com. And we're live, obviously, on the OSR Network here on YouTube, Twitch, and iRacing Live. I want to appreciate the guys over at iRacing for allowing us to bring to you this awesome league here, the Sim500, and showcasing all these drivers and letting me and old Gerald up here just yip-yap like we do during the race.
Yeah, and thank them for all the hard work that they put in. They do a lot of great things for iRacing, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, man, absolutely. And one of the new build things is that grass, that new grass model. I kind of like that thing. Man, you can throw grass and mow the grass is what I say.
Yeah, and I tested it out after a race at Pocono we had for the RFAC guys, and I went down into the grass, shot some grass up onto the track. When I come up off the grass, I got back onto the track, and it felt like I was slipping and sliding a little bit there until my tires got cleaned off. So it gives a different perspective, and a lot of way people describe it is it's like putting a sheet of water, a little bit of water on the track, kind of makes it a little bit slick. So if you see some grass go up on the track, which you probably won't hear at Iowa, maybe you will. You never know. Anything can happen. But it's kind of like, it makes it a little bit slick there in that spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to look around the track here. I don't really think I've seen too many runoffs with the grass in here. I think most of it was concrete here. But either way, you're right, though. Man, it puts it up there, makes it a different perspective, different thing here. But hey, Justin Fuller, he's going to be the man who's going to come out of here with a pole tonight as qualifying has coming to a close here. And let's get these boys gridded up here tonight because it's going to be a good one. As we're going to race under the lights here at Iowa. And on pole, that's right, Justin Fuller. He's out front with Trey Edson. I'm going to say Edson. Sitting there in second place. Third place man, E.J. O'Rourke. Jimmy Coleman's on the start in the fourth place. Fifth place starter there, Thomas George. Sixth place, Steve Goschalk. Seventh place man, Douglas Hess. Starting in the eighth, Nick Timms, just a 9 times himself. Ninth place starter, Brian Chambliss right here. And to round out the top 10, Timothy Smith. And as always, we look through the field. Man, it's a who's who here at the Sim500 Truck Series. A lot of talent, man, sitting behind the wheel of them machines out there.
Yeah, and a lot of great paint jobs. I always look at these paint jobs. These guys, they put a lot of work into them, so I take the time to recognize them. And a lot of great-looking trucks. And one of the things I like to see here when they're gridding up and they're getting ready to go green is all those trucks out on the track, man. I can imagine what's going through these guys' minds. You got 40 guys here, or gals maybe, at Iowa. I mean, it's going to be a good one. So, hey, man, like you said, I appreciate everybody for watching. We definitely try to put on a good show here, and these guys, they definitely make it exciting.
Well, before we get started, I got to say, with the lap times like they are, and we were talking about that in practice, with the track the way it is, I've just seen this party kind of play out here in the past. I gotta think the track position is going to be king over tires here tonight. We'll just have to see how this race plays out, though.
Yeah, I'd say it take a little while to get the tires to wear here. It's going to have a lot of grip early on, at least the first 10 to 20 laps or so. So we'll see how it goes. It's definitely not going to be too slick. It might get a little tight on them, but I'm not for sure. Really, I didn't have any time to run a practice lap.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Again, we'll just have to see what happens throughout the race, obviously, and just kind of go from there. It just seems like with the track temp, as many trucks as we've got, being marred back there in traffic might be a hard thing to pass, especially with when we saw in qualifying all these guys with less than a second, about 7/10 separating the top 29. I mean, that's just right there, side by side, door to door. I think it's going to be a hard feat to pass. Again, could be wrong, but might end up being a one-group track. All those things, man, folks, keep in mind, it's going to play into this race here tonight.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And, if anybody's wondering about the points, Chad Coleman's still on the top of the list. EJ bumped it up to second there with that win last week at Texas. So, he's got 94 points behind Chad Coleman, and we got Scott Simley in third. So it's your top three in points right now starting this race here at Iowa.
Absolutely. It was the pace cars pulling them around. We're getting set to go green flag racing here under the lights at Iowa Speedway for the Sim500 Wednesday night truck series presented by simspeedshop.com. And just look at that grandstand view. You could see almost 40 of these drivers out here. Well, just a slew of men side by side coming down the backstretch to get ready to rumble here under the lights.
Here we go. Hold on to your stuff. Get your seatbelts tight. Get you a drink of water, whatever you got to do if you're watching. And, hey, it's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, as I always say, tell the wife, the kids, and everybody to be quiet. Tell the neighbor, hush. And if you got a gerbil, tell him quit running on the wheel because pace car's pulling around. Pace car's pulling around. Going to duck off on pit road. And Justin Fuller out front. He's going to leave these charge of hungry lines behind him as the green flag's about to fly here at Iowa, and it does. We're racing tonight. We got 150 laps going to be in the books here when we get done with this one. As they storm off into turn one, they're going to be almost 2 by 2 by 2 in the back, but the front three get all single file.
Yeah, it's typical for the front three. They want to get out front as far as they can, and the easiest way to do that is to get single file as fast as possible and let the guys battle behind them.
Man, I tell you what, right now, it is a cluster up front. Thomas George and company right there with a 7. You got to go to that part before you go 2 and 3 wide. They're almost 3 wide behind them, though.
Oh, yeah, they are battling right there, starting with 25 there, Thomas George. He's got the 91 of Steve Gottschalk right there, and the 51 there, Nick Timms, Mr. 9 times 0. 55 sideways, that's Timothy Johnston.
Uh-oh, already? Let me see if I can't get on him here.
He caught it.
Man, well, caution's out. Somebody ended up spinning.
What a job by him to hang on to that, though. Timothy Johnston was almost completely 90 degrees sideways. He had a little bit of help there from that retainer wall, but he kept it on the track, and he dropped to 13th.
Try and go back on the replay here and see exactly maybe what happened here. Let's see what happened. I think it's got to do with the 44. Like I said, I think everybody just checked up. He got turned around, and iRacing decided to throw caution back here in the back. So, wow. I mean, like you said, the 55, Timothy Johnson hanging on to it, but with all these trucks like they were, kind of just jacked the field up a little bit.
Yeah, and iRacing, I can't believe that it didn't throw a caution there because, the 55 was totally sideways right there with a whole lot of trucks coming. And, it didn't throw a caution there, but I think we had some trouble in the back.
Yeah, it was in the back there. The 44 looked like he had to just check up for the field, and it kind of sent him sideways a little bit, and he kind of almost spun it around. Which is the only truck I saw, so I'm going to take it was him.
Yeah, and those kind of things are going to happen when you're racing this close together here on a small track.
Absolutely. Well, Justin Fuller's still out front in this one. Trey Edson right there sitting in second. The 05 machine. E.J. O'Rourke behind them. Jimmy Coleman. Those top three guys, they got jumped out pretty quick there, single file. They were racing pretty hard behind them all the way through the field, which is what we expected. I mean, with the times that these guys had. But see, just like that right there, Gerald, one guy makes a mistake. Everybody's on top of each other. There's really not a lot of time to react.
And you have no time to make a mistake, and you got to hurry up and react. And I've said it before, you get a split second to make that decision, and you can make the wrong decision when you have to make a decision that quick. And luckily, a lot of those guys made the right decision, but it's just so instant that you have to make it. It's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. I agree with that one there. Well, like I say, man, Justin Fuller holding on to the point here. Timothy Johnson, he's going to go in the pit, probably get him 4 tires and fuel. If he can't make way back up to the front here. Luckily, nobody else got caught up in that mess. No major contact because, again, well, there is no fast fixes here. There is, one and done, pretty much is what I like to say if you get hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it don't take much if you don't have any fast repairs. You hit something hard enough, you're going to be done out of this race. So you got to be very careful, and I think we have a few that are out maybe. I'm not for sure. It seems like I might be having some kind of issue. I'm not for sure if you are.
Douglas Hess, I'm showing us the only car that's out. Brian Chamberlain, 3 or 2 laps down right now.
Yeah. See, I think I might be having a little issue here, but hey, I can still see what's going on. Just some of my software's a little jammed up.
That's all right. Don't worry, man. Look, that's all right. You'll get it back. We'll pray for you.
I think it.
There you go. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. Let's see. Just curiosity. I'm look through here, man, down here in the chats here, and see. I don't see that Trey guy in here. I was gonna pull him up and talk to him, but I don't see him in here.
Yeah, he might not have a radio on. But yeah, I haven't seen him. I did a little look a little bit through the website there to see if I can get any info on them, and I didn't find anything.
There's got to be news. I mean, that's pretty much what we're going to take with the 05 machine out there being new. Don't see him out here in the team speak. Maybe pull him up here and get a talk in with him. Obviously, hopefully he'll get back up here or get up in here. Maybe sometime during the race if he can. And maybe we'll get a word with him under a caution or two. But a nice looking DC Solar machine out there, 05. And he's definitely fast. I mean, he's hanging up there with Justin Fuller and company. So, being new and fast, there you go.
Hey, new and fast. That gets puts a lot of pressure on some of these guys.
Absolutely. Lights off on the pace car. We're going back green flag racing here at Iowa. Man, I tell you, that's just some good-looking trucks out there. That's just all I got to say. And I tell you what, that's some nice field.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. When these trucks are all gridded up and running around, I mean, I can't help but to stare at these paint jobs. There's a lot of great looking trucks here. Man,
yeah. So pace cars coming into turn 3. Going to come out of turn 4. Lights off here. Man up front, Justin Fuller. He's hoping for an awesome night here. As the pace car ducks off, we're going back green flag racing here. It's going to be lap 9 when they cross the line. Here we go. Green flag flies. Justin Fuller gets a good jump. E.J. O'Rourke gets a better jump that time. Now this time, they're going to take it into turn 1 side by side.
Yeah, but they get single file up front immediately again. And, that goes to show you what I was saying earlier. We got the 7 Storm and Jimmy Coleman. He's looking good in practice. I was watching him. He had a fast truck. So watch out for him and the 25 of Thomas George.
Yeah, Rick McBride company right there with Steve Goschalk. They're in the mix side by side. But you're talking about that 7 there, Jimmy Coleman. He's on the inside holding his own. Looks like he's getting caught down on that. Looks like right now that middle line might be the better line right now around the track.
Yeah, it looks like the high side's starting to prevail. You see the 91, Steve Gottschalk there, side by side, and the 78, Rick McBride looking to make it 3 wide there. The 91 clears the 7, so they didn't go 3 wide, but the 7 of Jimmy Coleman starting to drop back, being stuck on the bottom.
Yeah, and you can do that for a little bit here, 3 wide, especially as wide as it is on front stretch. But you're talking about Jimmy Coleman. Yeah, he's dropping off the pace there in that inside. Everybody's going on the high side. Matthew Wasenbach taking it up to the 8th place spot. As Jimmy Coleman now travels up to the middle there. Might be a little bit late, but he's got up there finally. I got a feeling that's just what this track here reminds me of. Maybe I'm wrong. It reminds me of a Kentucky, the way it's built.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Kentucky is what I would say. I mean, Kentucky's got a lot more bumps, but it's kind of like a Richmond.
Richmond? Really?
Yeah, it's similar to Richmond, especially the way you run it. It's a little different in 3 and 4, and the bumps, of course, the way the track surface is, but similar shape and speed and the way it works. And you see the high line's prevailing a little bit more than that low line because these guys on the bottom have to lift a little bit just to keep it off those guys on their outside.
Yeah, no doubt. Right now, Sean Bounty, kind of looking back here in the back, there's a lot of action going on here. Sean Bounty's got his hands full with the 38. I just noticed the 38 there. Thomas Lattimore, we were talking about paint jobs. Well, he's out there with the Blimpie truck.
Yeah, he's supporting that Blimpie. I see that. It's a good-looking truck as well. Stands out a little bit, and you can see that number 38 really well. I like that.
Well, hopefully he ain't out there, man, yelling Blimpie every time he comes around, because in front of him, he's hoping these guys, man, can hold it straight. As you got Justin Roden right there, Joey Katina. Well, those guys almost were 3 wide for the moment, along with the 7 of Jimmy Coleman.
Yeah, you see Jimmy Coleman and the 27 there, Justin Roden. They're stuck on the bottom again. I'm interested to see if it's going to be like this the whole race. The 27 loses grip, goes up high. Sean Bounty gets a little tap there from the 40 of Dave.
Yeah, I saw that, man. Watched it live as it happened, and you're right, but nobody got involved with that one. Everybody was able to stay and go right there. What's up, Big? How you doing out there? Right now, kind of go a little further back. Bobby Wetzel back here. Doug Wood, Doey Wood, excuse me. KC Duncan in the mix. They're all side by side and mixing it up back in the back.
What a battle going on here at Iowa for the Sim500 guys. I mean, they got their hands full. No matter where you're at, there's a race. No matter where you look, they're side by side battling, and it is exciting to watch.
Yeah, I gotta love it. Just go through the rest of the field. And looking here, we got Mike Kelly in the mix back there in the 12 machine. Scott Simley, Chad Coleman, he's trying to get up. That's what I was saying earlier. It just looks like once you get marred back in traffic back there, everybody's so even right now. It's just hard to pass and hard to get to the front.
Yeah, and you got your two-time winner here for this season, Chad Coleman, and the points leader starting a lot further back in the pack than I would like to, but it seems to be working out for him as he works his way up through the field week in and week out.
Yeah, just kind of looking at the I'm gonna say that's the interval between them, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Actually, the whole top, I mean, saying the whole field is 9 seconds apart, and I guess it could be that big that it's about that far. Just don't seem right.
Yeah, 9, 11, whatever, from front to back, that's not bad. That's not even a half a track here. It's about a 24 second lap. So, it just goes to show you how big the field is here. They got 38 drivers started this race.
Yeah, I mean, because heck, I just went to the middle part of there to 20, and now I'm going back here to the back to about 25, 30, because they're still mixing it up back here 2 and 3 wide. So like what you said, got battles up front. Our leader's still Justin Fuller, but we've got battles front, middle, and in the back out here. Folks, I'll tell you what, it is a dog fight, man, going on throughout this whole entire field.
Yeah, it looks like some of these guys got their hands full with their setup here. There's a big bump coming down when you go down into 1 and 2. You wait till that bump, and then off of the exit of 2, there's a little hill, I would like to say. It's kind of like a bump, but it's a smooth hill, and it kind of comes up. So depending on how your truck's handling, it could give you some issues there.
All right, now look, we got to get on to Don Runkle out here. He brought out the pickle machine, and now the last couple weeks, he's brought out the Twitch machine. We want to see pickle.
Look at the battle going on right in front of him, though. I mean, they are giving it all they got.
They are. Anthony Calatoni there, Gail Brooks, Michael Prister. Man, I mean, guys are almost 2, 3 wide, just mixing up. Boy, that's, I want to ask you as a driver, Gerald, when you see that in front of you, what does that do to your psyche?
Yeah, I mean, it does a lot. You want to stay away from it, but you want to get around it as well. So it's kind of you don't know what to do at some point, And I've been watching Michael Prister for about 3 or 4 laps, and it seems like he's got his hands full of that 64 Bad Boys Welding Chevrolet Silverado, and he's dropping back a little bit, but it's a good-looking truck.
Yeah, it definitely is, man, along with a lot of them. But, yeah, it seems like a lot of these guys back here are just mixing it up, man, tooth and nail. And when we go back up front, Justin Fuller has pulled away on this one. Trey Edson right there in second by about a second. E.J. O'Rourke has fallen off the pace a little bit. Now, he's got his hands full with Steve Goschalk, who is on his back deck lid, along with Thomas George and Rick McBride.
Yeah, and if you stay focused on Justin Fuller, you see the line he's running. He's getting way down by that line on the corner exit, which is 2 and 4. And it's kind of a different line than most of these other guys are driving. You see the 05 of Trey Edson, he's doing a similar lap there. So they're definitely found out something with the way they're running this track, and they found some speed that way.
Yeah, it looks like maybe like momentum is what it looks like here at this track so far, the way the line he's running.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can go into a corner, you can cut the corner, you can gain 2/10 on a guy just by cutting into the corner early, but it makes you push a little bit coming off of the exit. So if you swing it in a little high and you come off low, you get a better run down the backstretch. And, you know, like I like to say, you go in like a lamb and off like a lion, and it's a little easier on your tires.
Yeah, easy in, hard off, man. That's usually how they go. We'll talk about with the road racing side of things. And Thomas George, Steve Goschalk, E.J. O'Rourke, they're all mixing it up with Rick McBride there. So those top 4 guys, they're all taking a little different line. It looks like E.J. O'Rourke's trying to take that same line that Justin Fuller and them are out there. And Big, I don't have the control over that right now, the Twitch side of things. So can't do that right now. But yeah, just watching this battle going on here for about 3rd place on back.
Yeah, EJ might be close enough to see how they're running this track, and he's trying to figure something out because he sees how they're starting to get away from him a little bit there. But it's still early on into this race. We're only 30 out of 150, so we got a long way to go. Plenty of time to figure it out. You just got to sit back, relax, hit your marks, and make some good pit stops, because pit stops, when you run green flag pit stops, it plays a big role, and if you make a mistake, you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, right now watching also Matthew Welzenbach right there. He is up to the 8th place spot. Joey Katina behind him, having a fantastic run in the last couple races. Joey Katina has definitely come on strong here in the Sim500 Truck Series presented by SimSpeedShop.com. Also, Matthew, I'll tell you what, Matthew's just had one of those up and down seasons. He just can't get traction, so somehow, but right now, hey, he's got a good looking truck. Good looking run going on.
He's running an Iowa State Cyclones truck here at Iowa. So he brought out the Iowa truck for Iowa, and he's looking good up there, running in the top 10, throwing down some pretty good laps there.
Absolutely. They're all single file nose to tail. Like we just said right there, Matthew Welzenbach, Joey Katina, Jimmy Coleman, David Comstock, Thomas Lattimore, though, was just talking right there. He's back in the 12th place. Just kind of looking through the rest of this field, because it kind of seems like we got, some battles going on here and there, and then everybody, we got some battles that are actually just single file most of the time.
Yeah, speaking of Dave Comstock in the 40, I mean, he started 19th. He's gained 8 spots. He's up to 11th. And Joey Katina, I mean, he started in the 20th position. He's up to 9th. He gained 11 spots. So they are moving their way up through the field. They got some pretty good trucks here.
Yeah, slowly but surely here, definitely moving it up. I got to ask, Gerald, it's been a long time since I've been on this track and raced it. Obviously can see a lot of what they're doing out there right now. I can definitely tell that middle groove, maybe higher groove. It looks good, but everybody seems like they're tucking down low. Do you see anything out there that you would do different in the truck?
The main thing you want to do in a long race like this is you want to be consistent lap after lap. You don't want to get sidetracked. You want to start daydreaming. You want to fall off, lose your focus or anything like that, because it take you a long time to run somebody down, but it take you a split second to lose all that in one lap. So you just got to stay focused, be consistent, find you a groove, stick on in it, and run with it. I mean, this track right here could be really hard on your tires and your confidence, but if you hang in there and you make all your pit stops right, and you run your line consistently, you should be fine.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, right while we were doing that, the number 9 of Bobby Wetzel, I'm going to go back on the replay one more time here. Let's viewers see what they've been seeing here Actually looked like he had the checkup going into the turn. The 04 came up on him very quickly and boom, right in the back. And boy, he did a good job. I think the wall saved him more than anything there. So no caution because he was able to gather that thing up. But good job there by the 9 machine.
Yeah, they were fighting hard right there. The 9 and I don't know who was behind him, but yeah, he definitely had his hands full. He gathered it back up. And, the thing with that is he tapped the wall. He got a little bit of damage. It shouldn't be a whole lot of – it shouldn't change his truck a whole lot here at Iowa. It's not a really aero-demanding track, but it'll definitely affect how you handle it. A lot of times you hit the wall and it just don't want to turn sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It kind of throw the toe off just a little bit. You're right, though. It is a short track, so don't want to say that aerodynamics aren't important, but you could almost come up here with some, bent fenders, crinkled up a little bit, and do quite well because this thing is, a 3/4, less than a mile style track, about 0.88 is what it said, but that close. Yeah, give or take.
Like a little dent or a crinkled fender, that's not really going to bother you. Or if you got ran into the back of or something, the spoiler's a little crinkled up, it shouldn't play a big role in it. But you hit it really hard, of course, it's going to knock the toe out. The car's not going to want to turn, and then you're going to have bad aero.
Yeah, well, the 55, Timothy Johnson, remember, he's on a newer set of tires than a lot of other people. He's trying to come through the field there and almost ran up on the back end of the 04 there just for a moment, trying to just modulate through that traffic and see if he can't just make up a few times here before soon. Got to bring up the question, green flag pit stops, Gerald. We've been out here for 41 laps. What do you think the cap is?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere between 45, maybe 50 and 60. I'm not for sure, though.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, up front, Justin Fuller, he almost got in trouble with some lap cars there. Just went up there and got in time because I noticed Trey was running him down. He was about over a second ahead, and now he's down to about 7/10. So, and now I looked up there, and Justin Fuller was marred behind a couple lap trucks, and now it looks like he's already, tires look like they're starting to give way because he almost went up against that wall.
Yeah, and that's one thing we haven't talked about is lap traffic. They're going to be coming up on lap traffic. They're going to have to battle around them. And if they, they have the right to be on the track, like we always say. So, they don't have to literally move out of the way, but you definitely want to show a little respect to your other drivers out there. You got to race with these guys each week. And Justin Fuller right in the wall. So you might be right about the tire wear. And, that's how I get a lot of my positions. A lot of guys will take off. They'll go really, really fast at the first 10, 15 laps. And then here I come later on. I don't like to take off and burn up my tires real quick. So Justin might have done that. And Trey's moving in.
Yeah, he is like a shark in water trying to run him down. Trey is trying to run down Justin Fuller. Looks like the truck's getting a little tight out there for Justin. It's moving up the track, and then that wall's going to snap out there and bite him. And just go back a little bit on what we was talking about with the lap trucks there. What I saw was basically looks like he ran up on them in a turn, and they were side by side. Can happen to anybody there, and then he just had to figure out a way to get around them. But, boy, we're out here on 45 lap old tires. Everybody is pretty much the most field. I'm like you. I think maybe 50 laps is what they can go.
Yeah, it'd be a good guess, I'd say. I think they're doing 70% fuel here, so that's definitely a good guess there.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, Trey is moving in. Right now, he's got that thing knocked down to 3/10. We'll see what he does here in this turn. Looks like he's smooth. So the new kid on the block here tonight's running down the veteran, who again pushes up the track and almost into the wall.
Yeah, and look at Trey just close that gap there as he's coming between a truck and a half there up on the back bumper of Justin Fuller. And I wouldn't doubt we're coming up on pit stops here. So, one run, and he got to the back bumper of him. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to pull this one off if it goes green. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it looks like Trey's backing that turn up a lot more than Justin is right now. Justin did maybe that last time there, understanding. But again, here's the thing, Gerald. Catch and pass is two different things. You're this far into a green flag run. Do you risk it at Trey? Would Trey risk it to try to go around Justin at this point?
Yeah, so they're coming up on pit stops. So if I was Trey, I'd just lay back, follow him, unless he's just slowing you down a whole lot. Because if you're planning on pitting here in the next 5 or 6 laps, there's no sense in getting around him and then going down pit road and having to tell him, hey, I'm pitting and all that, and you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, and I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. Unless he's just really slowing him down or he just gets that opportunity, Justin makes a mistake. Looks like he's traveling up the track just to save a little tires. And Justin now has started to kind of just ease off. So these two, this is your leader. First and second place up front here. Justin Fuller out front. Trey Edson right there behind him. But we got a feeling as they just clocked 50 laps. Now, if they go another couple laps here, and this thing, well, if it goes green the rest of the way, obviously, then they're looking at one more pit stop after this.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great saves out there as well to keep it going green. And we do have cars coming down pit road now. I believe the 9, he's on pit road right now. So you see people starting to make pit stops like Bobby Wetzel. We'll be looking for the leaders to come in. They don't want to stay out too long after people start pitting. And 50 laps is about the time I would start wanting to come in.
Yeah, Matthew Welsenbach's one of the first ones up front here to come into pit road. So still waiting to see when the leaders might come in, even though he also got E.J. O'Rourke right there behind those. He's about 4 seconds off from the leaders up front, Thomas George. So with a big field like this, everybody getting spread out, here's the thing you got to look at. When they do make these green flag stops, you're going to have guys on new tires, guys on old. But as far as the leaders go, man, it doesn't matter when they come back out, everybody on new tires. This is when the time of the race, everybody's going to be in lap traffic. This track is small enough for that, and we got enough trucks out here.
Yeah, you're going to have cars or trucks all the way around this track, So if you was actually sitting in the stands, you'd have a truck always going by there because we're on a small track and it's been green for so long. But one thing we haven't talked about is how iRacing has implemented that pit road line coming on exit. They got to follow around the apron and exit on the backstretch now. So if you barely touch that line or go over that line, you get a black flag penalty. Or if you come onto the backstretch a little bit too soon, then they'll give you a penalty. So you got to be very careful, and you can't hit those lines.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when everybody completes their green flag stop here, or if there's a caution in between all these green flag pit stops, because like you said, we've got some that have came down. Looks like to be about 8 to 9 trucks right now have came down on pit road and had their pit stops, and you're going to see the difference between new tires, old tires, as we see Rick McBride and Joey Katina right there battling it out a little bit. Here's where the fun and the nervous part comes in, I feel, Gerald, as a driver.
Yeah, you see Joey Katina starting to come down pit road here. He stayed out for 56, 57 laps on those tires. And what they were doing was they were wanting to see if anybody was going to end up bringing a caution out there trying to get to pit road, because if they come down pit road early and then a caution comes out, then, they're going to be to the back. So they wanted to stay out a couple extra laps just to make sure everybody gets in and off, on and off pit road clean and no caution.
Yep, and right here we're talking about watching the leaders up here. You're seeing Timothy Johnson, new tires versus old. He just goes right by him right there. So he has to figure out a way. That's going to let actually Trey move up just a little bit, but he's doing what you said. I think he's just riding in the tire tracks adjusting right now.
Yeah, he's just hanging out, no pressure. If he was a whole lot faster, he would have went around him and, started gaining a little bit of track on him. But since they're about the same speed, he just decided to ride behind and wait. And maybe he can beat him on in pit road or on the next cycle of new tires.
Absolutely. Well, we're still trying to see. They've been out there for 58 laps. Now, obviously, we've got to take away those few laps there for the caution that was earlier on, so that's going to help the tires. But still, either way, 58 laps. I mean, you might as well say, 55 laps then.
Could you imagine how worn his tires are being out there? And here it is. So
man.
That's what they were waiting on. That's a big
one. No, and Matthew Welsenbach involved. And then, boy, I tell you what, it's a big one on his end. Let's go and ride here with him. Man, I hate this. And then oh, wait a minute, that's the 18 got turned, and Matthew Welsenbach, nowhere to go, slams the inside wall, and that thing is smoking.
Well, I wouldn't say he got turned, but he definitely went around.
Well, let's go back. Yeah, let's go back and watch what happened to the 18 here. It looks like he just traveled up the track, and man, he almost went flipping. Yeah, he didn't get. Well, he clipped the back end of it. And I think he locked his tires up and just sent him. The bad thing I hate is it sent him into the inside wall and popped the front nose of it. I hate that.
Yeah, you know, you get a truck in your blind spot right there. You don't quite know exactly where they are, or if you're not really paying superb attention, you will make a little bit of contact. And unfortunately, you know, you make it right in that spot, and it's going to send you right across the nose there, and you're both going to get damaged. So you see him and the 6 definitely got a lot of damage out of that. It's unfortunate, and it helped out our leader though, Justin Fuller and Trey Ice. Those guys got the caution they were looking for. That's why they stayed out.
Yeah, I hate that though, man. On Matthews' part, had a good running truck and a good starting or a good running run tonight here so far. And just hate that. Well, let's watch the pit stop here and see who wins the battle off pit road. As Justin Fuller and Trey both looks like they're going to take the 4 tires out there. See what we got. And man, look at the number 11 come up through there. Now I gotta say, it'll tell me here in a minute. What did Corey Chester? Well, it's not showing his pit stop. Man, his is so fast it's not even registering.
Yeah, there's a lot of trucks out there right now, so, you know, you might have your little glitches here and there.
I'm just wondering if he actually did stop because it's not even showing the nope, he's coming right back down. So I was wondering that for a minute. The number 11 came flying through. It didn't show anything, and I was wondering what happened. But Justin Fuller wins the race off pit road. Trey Edson right there in second. E.J. O'Rourke third. Thomas George up in the fourth. Rick McBride rounds the top 5. So pretty much everybody's come back out, and you're right. It benefits them. And actually, I would say it probably puts them right there on their green flag stop.
Yeah, you know, if you're coming down pit row and you miss your pit there by just a second, you know, you just got to ride through it, come back around next time. It does mess you up, though, because you lose a lot of spots and you start from the back and work your way back up. But coming back out, you know, I believe we got about 88 laps to go. So they're going to be able to run 44 laps, unless they can run 88, Joe.
Hey, your guess is as good as mine. Now you're the truck expert.
Well, they might have some hybrids or something, because they were out there for a long time and they finally got what they were waiting on, though, is that caution.
Absolutely.
And he gets to maintain that number 1 spot there up front, him and Trey. And you know, it's going to be a battle. You know, it's going to work out a lot better here for Justin Fuller, because you see it took him about 50 to 60 laps before Trey actually started to get up on his back bumper there. So with this next run going to be a little bit shorter, it might play into Justin's favor.
I'm just trying to look, see maybe if we can get a talk in with somebody real quick. Hey, what? Get hold of Thomas George. Thomas George, there we go. We'll get Thomas George up here. Make sure the lights are still off on the pace car. Yep. So we'll bring old Thomas George up here and get a talk with him. Thomas George, Joy in the booth. Got a copy?
It's a big 10-4.
Man, I tell you what, in a good position tonight here. How's the truck and how's the track?
Truck's not bad. It's a little on the tight side in the center of the corner. Trying to just find a line to work with here. But it's been a good solid night so far, and got a little less than 90 laps to go. Maybe we can get a couple more positions, put ourselves in for a win tonight. But those top 2 trucks are pretty fast, so we'll see what we can do about it.
Man, I got to ask, do you think you got anything for them tonight, though?
Hey, man, whenever I'm behind the wheel, I'm going for the win, so I'm going to give it all, everything I got, even if it's just 1%. I got something.
There you go. Good luck out there, Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll tell you what. So we get him back down there to Steel Horse Racing. I talk in with him there, so confidence out here. Like to see that.
Yeah, you should have confidence. You know, Sim500's a great league, and they got a lot of confident, great drivers over here.
I want to see you out there, Gerald.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, you know, sometimes I think about that. I'd love to be out there running with these guys.
I think you'd done lapped the field, but that's just me. Pace car's about to pace car's dropping off. Justin Fuller, he's going back here. We're going green flag racing back here at Iowa. And he does. Justin Fuller, just a hammer down. Oh, and a 25. We just talked to him, Thomas George. slams into the truck. Don't know what happened there, but we're going to go back on the replay and see. That truck just took a hard left for some reason. I don't know if he actually, something happened.
Yeah, something definitely happened because he wasn't meant to go down there.
I mean, nobody checked up in front of him. Let's watch the replay one more time here. Didn't check up in front of him.
Oh.
That thing just did a violent, almost like maybe it shifted back down into first gear and spun those tires around on him. But man, that was weird.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what happened to him.
What you got?
Yeah, he missed a shift.
That's what it looked like. It looked like he just went in there and got going, and all of a sudden, just maybe that thing, he dropped it back down into gear, and it just blew the back tires, and it just shot it straight left into the other truck.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, it looks like he went to shift down to second because I believe he was doing a first gear restart there. And when he dropped his shifter back, he went to reverse maybe, or neutral, but it looked like reverse.
Battle for the lead up front. Trey says, hey, I rode in your tire tracks long enough for the pastime. Let me see if I can't get around you here. He goes to the inside. Couldn't get the pass done, but he's got E.J. O'Rourke eating his back bumper up front.
Well, they are battling, and they are putting on a great show. I love watching these guys, and EJ coming off a win last week. He's all over the back end Trey there, so we're going to see what EJ's got now as he's up there with them, and they didn't have a chance to get away from him.
No, they didn't. Now, this is the time to see what your tires are definitely going to do. E.J. O'Rourke's on the outside there, Trey, and he's going to see if he can take that second place spot and run down that man up front. I mean, the 5 machine was able to do it in a very long, long run.
And that outside line prevails one more time here as you see EJ take over that number 2 spot from Trey. So see if he can run down our race leader here, Justin Fuller, because, the only one I've seen the only truck I've seen that had anything for Justin, and that was on a later run, was Trey.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, the 7's back up to 5th place, battling out with Scott Simley there behind them as they're going to duke it out side by side alone. Oh, and the blew up. Rick McBride just blew that truck sky high.
Yeah, wow. I heard that thing from up here.
Let's go back on the replay. You want to talk about, man, I was on the hood cam of the 12 when it did that, and I jumped. I can imagine what the guy behind him did because that thing just, boom, right in front of him. Now, the 7 went flying through the grass there, and you see grass going. He's mowing it, trimming the hedges, but wow, that could have been disastrous, Gerald.
Yeah, Jimmy Coleman made an evasive move, got around that. He went in the grass, but he didn't run into the back, so he saved his race there. And, we're still green after all this.
I'll tell you what, excitement. And, hey, look, if that didn't get your heart skipping a beat, man, I don't know what will.
It definitely got the 7's heart beating.
Dang, that line. Like I say, I was riding along on the hood of the 12, and the next thing I saw was poof, and then the 78 slipped and almost come right to the hood of him.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of little mistakes here being made early on this second run here.
Now, I don't remember him getting any damage, but what in the world would have caused that thing to pop like that?
Maybe he's missing a shift there, or he could be downshifting going into the turns or something. Maybe it's something that he's doing, his driving style. I'm not for sure. That's a good question, Joe.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is there a need to shift here? Because the last time I checked, Gateway was the only one that needed to shift.
Yeah, I've never shifted here in the truck or the Xfinity car.
That's what I was thinking, but hey, something new. Maybe I just didn't know about. Like I say, I got to get my truck expert up here on it.
Yeah, well, you got to know these guys, they're shifting, they got shifters and clutches, so, they could definitely make a mistake really easy.
Man, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about some more contact going on in the back here with Chad Coleman. Go back here and watch the replay here because him and the 24 machine there got side by side, made contact. Looks like 24 went up the track a little bit. Chad Coleman was there, thought he was clear, and almost, man, put him in the wall. That's going to let Chad Coleman kind of lose a few positions.
Yeah, I think the 24, he's one lap down there, so Chad Coleman really didn't have no problem letting him go. Didn't want to get involved in anything, but, Chad Coleman's the points leader. He's got a lot to lose here. He's trying to get a clean race in and a good finish.
Absolutely. we look back here, man, and now Joey Katina got a lap down, but he's back in the 24th spot. He was up front there. Oh.
Yeah, that was those green flag pit stops that they made. You know, some guys come in and then the caution come out. So only a couple guys got back on the lead lap before that caution popped.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Well, right now, Joey Katina, if another caution was to fly, he's definitely sitting in a lucky bird spot, lucky dog spot, either way you want to look at it. Well, up front, Justin Fuller still leading this one. He's got a 1.2 second lead. He's pulling away like he did before. E.J. O'Rourke still in second. You got Trey Edson right there sitting in third spot. Scott Simley up into the fourth place. David Comstock there in the 40. He's up there in the fifth place spot behind him. Milt Matisse, man, I'll tell you what, that guy's made a move tonight.
Yeah, Milt Matisse, you know, he's gained 29 spots, starting 35th. He's up to 6th. So he's put on a great performance, man. I'm sure he's proud of his performance tonight.
Wow, and I tell you, yeah, I mean, and he's done it not by taking 2 tires or anything, so he's able to move up. He started 35th up to 6th. So, man, that is a awesome move there. I'm going to say he's right now probably the biggest mover of the race so far. Even Mike Kelly, so a lot of guys in the top 10 was marred way back in traffic. They're up front. Mike Kelly, he's there in the 7th place. Justin Roden there in the 8th place. Gale Brooks, another one from 38th all the way to 9th and around the top 10. Michael Prister, who was in 37th. That's all right. You like that bad boys welding machine. Well, he's up to 10th.
Yeah, man. And Scott Simley, you know, he gained 30 spots himself. He's up to 4th. He started 34th.
Man, that's some moving right there.
You know, and that's how I run my races. You know, sometimes I'll get out there and qualify and try to get the pole, and sometimes I'll start in the back and just run my race. You know, if you want to qualify up front, you got to run hard like those guys run, or you might stack the field up. And sometimes I don't like to run really hard, so I kind of just hang back in the field and try to walk them down.
You're just good.
No, you're good.
You're just great. You ever heard that Kellogg's commercial?
Me.
How did I teach you on the track?
Taught me everything I know, Joe.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Well, if it's hitting a wall, I definitely taught you right.
You don't hit the wall, Joe. Come on now.
I hit everything if it's moving or sitting still.
Well, I was going to ask you if you want to race for $20.
First one to crash.
I'd probably win that one if I wanted to.
There you go. I tell you. Well, it has been a good one here under the lights here at Iowa tonight for the Sim500 Wednesday Night Truck Series presented by SimSpeedShop.com. And last week, me and Gerald up here were talking about this kind of NCAA style bracket style chart. Now, Gerald has that chart up here. Last week, I showed who the guys who had moved on or advanced. I don't know. Do you have an updated chart?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We got a car going around.
We do. Where's it at?
51.
51, okay. Nick Timms. He's all blew up.
You know it.
Mr. 9 times. You can see that on his. Oh, him and the 20. Is that the 20? Might not be. Oh, somebody else. Well, they got together back there in the back. It's like he pushed up and then he's smoking a little bit. Get that thing going, so hopefully he'll be able to continue in the race here.
Okay, so I lied. I do have the updated version of the bracket, which is good news.
All right. So I knew we showed the ones who had advanced into round 2. Since we're in a caution here, maybe you can read what actually are the ones, because I didn't get the updated one myself, so sorry folks, won't be able to show it to you. But who is in round 2 right now?
All right, we got 16 guys that are coming into this race in the bracket, and they gotta advance on. When they leave this race, there's going to be 8. We got Chad Coleman versus Brian Wortman. Joey Katina has already moved on. He was racing, I believe Brian. I don't know for sure, but he got a bye round. Justin Rodden, Jose Gonzalez. So Justin Rodden will move on. We got Don Runkle and Doy Woods going at it. Nick Timms and Rhett McBride going at it. Dave Comstock and Bobby Terrell We got Milt Matisse, Timothy Johnson, Jimmy Coleman versus Steve Gottschalk. Got Simley and Anthony Calatoni. We got Jonathan Lockhart and Timothy Matthews. Adam Blattell and Joe Hudson. Mike Kelly versus Sean Bounty. EJ O'Rourke is taking on Jason Swan. Justin Fuller is Michael Prister is his competition. Doug Sigmund and Chris Gibson are going at it. And then we got Bobby Wetzel and Stevie Minson. I haven't seen Stevie.
Yeah, I haven't seen Stevie, but folks, it's pretty much, it's easy. It's whoever finishes in front of who moves on. I'll get you that chart, put it up on the screen for us for next week here in the race, and updated one there for us. But basically what it is simspeedshop.com's giving away, I believe it's a button box to the winner or whatnot. It's kind of a tournament bracket just to give guys out here who just kind of anybody a shot. And it's pretty much all you got to do is finish in front of the guy that you're racing against.
Yeah, and correction, 32 guys coming in and 16 walking away winners and moving forward.
There you go. All right. Well, was looking to see if David Comstock was in here, but I don't see him.
That means they had 64 guys. They had a couple bye rounds, but they was close to 64.
Absolutely. Hey, what's up, John, out there? How you doing? And I'm going to take Commando as Thomas, who said he missed the gear.
Yeah, I seen that.
He said, well, that thing just downshifted. And that's what it looked like. He must have been in second, yanked it right back down to first, just blew the tires right off of it, and shot it straight left.
Yeah, and it was crazy to watch, being up close to the front of the pack.
Absolutely. Well, definitely didn't go as planned. But hey, I want to appreciate everybody tuning in. We're under caution here. And just to give you kind of an idea, race summary. As Justin Fuller is out front, we've completed 88 of 150. No lead changes. So that means Justin Fuller has led every lap tonight so far. You could say domination. That's a word for it. 3 cautions right now. So I said 4, you said 5, but really, the cautions actually are not kind of what I expected. I kind of expected trucks getting into each other, beating and banging, and big-time collisions, but it's just been kind of mishaps here and there.
Yeah, and I figured a lot of those cautions would be a lot early on. So, we're having a lot of fun watching this one. It's been a lot of fun so far. Got some trucks taking the wave around here, so they're getting back on the lead lap. Therefore, they can't pit.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a good one here under the lights at Iowa. We've only got a couple trucks that are out. Unfortunately, Matthew Welsenbach out of this one, who had a good truck earlier on, just got caught up, wrong place, wrong time. James Barber and Douglas Hess, both out of this one. Thomas George sitting about 24, about 1 lap down or so forth. He messed up earlier on. Honey, I struck the, yeah, there you go, intermediate. Well, pace car's in, about to drop off. We're going green flag racing. Justin Fuller, man out front. Boy, he has stayed out front all night long. He has led 89, well, there you go, 90 of the 90 laps. I mean, I don't think we've had anybody lead every lap of every race, tonight or anytime.
Yeah, he's working on it. He's going to be a trendsetter, I guess. Be the first one.
You know what? And I don't think I have ever seen anybody. I've seen some guys come close, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody dominate a race like that and do it. I mean, I haven't personally seen it.
I tell you what, these guys that just took the wave around, they were out for about 34, 35 laps. And they had the option to come in and they can make it to the end, but they chose to take that wave around. So that was a hard decision for those guys to take that wave around and not come in and take tires. So they must be banking on a caution.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, it could happen, as right now in the back here with Corey Chester, Timothy Johnson and all, well, they are mixing up almost 3 wide back there in the back, so some hard racing happening about the mid-pack here. As you look, they're side by side along with Doey Woods. You've got KC Duncan in the mix, and who is that other one right there? Looks like Brian Wortman. I'll tell you what, Brian looking good.
Yeah, you got a nice battle going on between those guys there. I'm watching the 55 and the 11 battle it out for that 15th position there. And then they got another set right behind them, the 28 of Anthony Calatoni and Doy Woods is side by side there. So you see early on these runs, the bottom lane is working just as good as the top, but as the race goes on, the top line starts to gain a little bit more momentum. As you see, the 00 got in the wall just a little bit going into one.
Well, Don Runkle Jr. up there tapping it ever so slightly. So I hate to see that on his end, but he still maintained his spot there. And you're right, John. I mean, flag to flag, leading every lap. That's just domination in a new sense, and that's a hard thing to do because usually if you get a caution, somebody stays out, leads a lap or whatnot, and it breaks that up. But I just haven't seen anybody do that in a very long time.
Yeah, it's laying the smack down, as they would say, or opening a can.
No doubt. Anthony Calatoni right here battling it out with Doy Woods, Corey Chester in the mix, 55 there, Timothy Johnson. So all these trucks, man, are side by side duking it out.
Yeah, we got a lot of battling going on right now. I don't know which one to watch.
Absolutely. Let's check up front real quick right now. Is Justin Fuller still out front? He's got about 8 tenths over the man Trey Edson, the new kid on the block, the newcomer here tonight, and that 05. Now we did see Trey run him down in a very long green flag run. We went about 56 laps green flag, about 55 laps or so green flag, and we saw him run him down. If it goes another green flag run, can he run Justin down and then have enough to get around him?
Yeah, I believe it was a little longer than that, actually. But, it looks like early on in these runs, he's kind of just taking it easy, letting Justin Fuller burn his stuff up. And then he's coming in later on in the run. But being that they had like 80 or 88 laps or so to go since they pitted that last time, which it changed because the caution came out, and they came back down pit road. Now it's even going to make it shorter. So I think they can make it to the end, and that's going to play out really into Trey Eidson's favor.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll tell you what, hey, let's do something everybody likes. Let's go high and wide. That's right, let's bring out the Blimpie cam. And everybody loves Blimpie because even Thomas Lattimore, he loves Blimpie because he got a Blimpie truck out there. Just gives you a good perspective of the facility, just how far apart these guys are right now. Not too far apart from each other, but and then who don't like Blimpie? Gerald, you like Blimpie?
Hey, and you get to watch a lot of good battling all the way around the track. That Blimpie cam gives you a great perspective of what's really going on.
That's right. And like we always said, I want to meet the person that can stay angry in a fight and say Blimpie. It's not going to happen. It's just one of them words. It's kind of a happy word.
I told you when I get mad, I say Blimpie now. It calms me down.
It comes.
It works.
There you go. Well, from the Blimpie cam to the Blimpie truck here, Thomas Lattimore's up the 10th place spot. That's right, he does. He's sporting Blimpie on the hood and the side of that machine. So he's got his Blimpie spirit happening out here, but that's what we call it here at OSR Network. Kind of just fun times.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll tell you, man, Justin Fuller, he's got a handle on this truck. Do you see Trey maybe being able to run him down here? Or see anybody be able to run him down?
I definitely see that in the future. But what they got to worry about is the 41 and the 40, because Dave Comstock and EJ O'Rourke, as you see Dave looking to the inside right now, making his way around EJ not going to put up too much of a fight. But the 40, he's coming up through the field. He's looking good. So they got to pay attention on what's going on behind them and focus on what's in front of them at the same time.
All right, lap times here. I'm kind of looking at it. Last time by, Justin Fuller ran a 24.312. Trey Edson a 24.311. So them boys are about dead heat even. David Comstock, now he was going around traffic there, ran a 24.4. Time prior, though, he was a little bit quicker. So those guys look like they might be a tad bit faster than Justin Fuller, but it seems like one lap they are and one lap they aren't.
Oh, yeah, and, it'll be like that sometimes. You just got to stay focused and try to hit your marks. But like I was saying, Dave Comstock and Scott Simley, man, they got a nice-looking truck and a they're running really well tonight. So we'll see how that works out for Justin Fuller and Trey. But so far, it looks like Trey's starting to get a little bit closer there to that 52 of Justin Fuller.
Yeah, 8/10 off of him right now. I think they're, you know, what's that?
Oh, somebody pounded the wall.
Who was it? Did you see?
That was the 18. It was a lap down or two, but yeah,
Jason
I thought he might
Swan.
have brought out the caution, but he did.
Well, he's on
Kept
the
it off
apron.
track.
Let's go back on it here and just let the view. Oh, he blew up. It blew up coming out of the turn on him.
Oh yeah, that's what that. It sounded like he hit the wall.
Yeah, I just saw the
Well,
puff
that
of
thing was
smoke.
loud.
Yeah, boom. Almost like what's it called earlier, Rick McBride.
Yeah, no wonder you jumped. That's what it just did to me. That's why I said, oh.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, David Comstock, right now moving up in the third place spot. He's got a bad, fast hot rod there, trying to see if he can't run down the top two guys. And I tell you, Trey Edson right now, he gains a little bit on Justin Fuller, and then he evens it off just a little bit. Like this last lap time, around 24.388, Justin did to a 24.311. It's going to be interesting to see, though, that close of a distance, even though if he catches him, passing him is just, he's going to need more than that to get around him.
Yeah, and being able to pass on the low side is going to be an issue, I believe, here. I think the high side's where it's at. So when he goes to make that pass, he's going to have to get his nose in between the 52 and the wall there to steal that high lane from him to try to get around him on the high side there. Put Justin Fuller down on the bottom and make him have to lift for you.
What about a bump and run? Do you do it here?
Maybe 2 or 3 to go. Not this early on.
All right, good deal. Hey, you heard it first from Gerald. What's up, Waylon? How you doing out there? Man, congratulations on that wedding out there, by the way. Now you're stuck. No.
Yeah.
Terrible. Wow.
You're done.
You're done. One and done.
No, congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all that out there, so, man, well, always good to see. Well, Scott Simley, man, he has moved it up the fourth place spot. Boy, man's got to be smiling ear to ear out here as E.J. O'Rourke's falling back to the fifth place. Milt Matisse right there. He's up in the sixth. Justin Roden up in the seventh. Adam, what was that? Adam Patel? Patel, is that right?
Patel.
Hey, he's up to 8. Wow.
Yeah, Scott Simley, he's been following the 40 of David Comstock up through the field there. And, you know, like I was saying a while ago, they're really fast. Right now, though, Trey Edson, Eitzen, he's looking really good. He's getting closer and closer every lap there to Justin Fuller. He's got it down to about 2.5 tenths there. So it won't be long. He'll be looking to make a pass to get around Justin.
Absolutely. And we'll keep an eye on that right here as I'm watching Michael Prester and Thomas Lattimore back here jockeying around. And, you know, Thomas, you know, he's running the Blimpie cam car truck out there, and he's probably going, well, you get the Blimpie out the way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Hey, could you imagine somebody saying that? I just had to laugh.
I told you, that's what I say.
I'm serious.
I can get on you by saying Blimpie.
There you go. Well, Trey has run down our leader. I always call him the popcorn machine. The number 52 machine out there, Justin Fuller. Now's going to be interesting time to see. He's caught him, but can he get around him? We've seen him do this earlier. And right now, obviously, Justin's going to protect that preferred line because he's the leader. It's going to be up to Trey to find a way to see if he can't get around him.
Yeah, and if they can make it on fuel, I'd say that Trey would just go ahead and try to get around him. No sense in riding behind him at this point. Go ahead and make your way on around. See if you can't walk away from him here and run the rest of this race out. Bring home that checkered flag, park it in victory lane.
You know what? He's caught him a lot earlier this time. Last time it took him almost 40-some laps, close to the 50-lap part in the run to catch him. This time they've only been out there for 30 laps on this stint, so he's got a little newer tires. Maybe if he can get close enough, but it looks almost like, you know, in real life they talk about this all the time. Arrow push. You get right up there, you catch a guy, you get right to his back bumper, and that truck or car just starts to push, and you can't quite break through that air.
Yeah, you know, and they're running pretty similar lap times. He's a little bit faster than Justin. but he's not a whole lot faster than Justin. So he's going to have to figure out how he's going to make his pass and then attempt to make it. And that's not saying that he's going to make it on his first try. So he's going to have to attempt it and see how it works. And he might have to change up his little strategy and go for another way to get around him. But he's definitely there. He's knocking on the door.
I think he's going to try to maybe see if he can't make that man make a mistake up there, Justin, and see if he can. We saw Justin later on in the run travel up the track. That truck started to get a little tight and go into the turn. And I think right now maybe that's what Trey's looking for. See if he can't maybe get him off that line. I just got a feeling as close as these trucks are, if he tries to dive it on the inside and all, he could tear those tires up and then lose all momentum. And just to answer your question, John, yes, pretty much they're going to have to make it. I'm going to say they're going to have to make another pit stop.
Yeah, I'm not for sure, to be honest, because on that first run, I think it was on lap 62 into their run when that caution came out. And they've been out there for 34 laps. So it's going to be close.
Yeah, that's going to put them, 34? We got another, 29 to go. So you might as well say 30 here. The calculator out. Is half broke half time, but oh man, that's going to put them at 75 laps. Can they go that far? 70 laps?
35 and 28.
Is that right? Wait a minute. 55.
No, it's about 63
63.
or so,
Okay, my bad. Okay.
This right here is it's going to be super close, I would say. And, like the race I won Tuesday in the Xfinity car, I ran out as soon as I crossed the start-finish line. So, they got to be very careful on how they're doing their fuel mileage. And if they got to save or clutch it going into a corner, that's going to play a role, if one guy was better on fuel or not. So, they see got somebody coming down pit road here.
My other question is, if you're Trey at this point, I tell you, what do you do? What would you do if you're him sitting in that spot right now?
I think he's got enough fuel to make it, as long as he plays his cards right. And if he's faster, he'll get around him. You don't have to push the issue. Just like on the restarts, he's letting Justin do his thing, and then he's running him back down at the end. So as long as he stays right there on Justin and he puts that pressure on him, Justin might make a mistake. He might be able to go right around him. And if he don't make a mistake, at least he's there putting that pressure on him, and maybe he's causing him to use up his tires a little more than Trey.
All right, well, we got 25 to go. The crossing line's going to be 24 here this time by. It's going to put them about 62 laps is what they would have to run roughly on this whole stint. They were close pretty much on that mark. And remember, though, Gerald, that first run, we had several laps under caution. So you got to keep that in mind. This run here would be a full 60-some run without the caution laps in there. So or whatnot. So it's going to be, like you said, close. I don't know, man. If I was either one of those guys, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah, you just got to pay attention to what you got, and if you think you can make it, then try to make it. If you're not sure if you're gonna make it, then go ahead and split it up. That way you ain't got to take that chance. But the thing about that is, you split it up, then you're gonna be coming down pit road here anytime soon. Those guys that took the wave around earlier are on pit road now. So, like I was saying with that, they had the chance to go ahead and pit and then run the rest of the race out. But they chose to get that wave around, so here they are on pit road going back down a lap.
And you're 100% right out there, John. Let's don't forget about that lap traffic, because he will definitely be coming up in lap traffic. That's another thing that I think Trey is looking at too. Maybe picking one of those lap cars or lap trucks, as we see in front of him. You see them they're side by side. Perfect opportunity if he was close enough on the back tailgate of Justin to maybe get him upset and get him off that line and go around.
I definitely agree with that. Maybe he's just sitting back, waiting, like I was saying a while ago, just putting the pressure on Justin, waiting for somebody to come up in there so he can use them as a pick, so to speak, and get around him. But maybe he's just saving his tires for now for the last 20 laps. And it's getting down to the nitty gritty now. We're going to find out. You're going to have to put all your strategy into effect and see what happens.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, as we always say, man, business is about to pick up because we got 19 to go in this one here under the lights here at Iowa Speedway for the Sim500 Wednesday Night Truck Series presented by SimSpeedShop.com. And so far, I'm going to tell you what, Justin Fuller, he's up there flirting with that wall. It would only take one tap of that wall to send, I think, Trey right on around him.
Coming right up on the 20 here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, the points leader. He's got a little bit of a distance there, so it might not be the one. Maybe he's waiting it out here. Maybe he just don't have what it takes.
Yeah, it's looks like two different lines. Looks like Trey's going in low, and he got a good run going in that time. He just got to get that momentum coming off the track, off the turn.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he's just holding back right now and just saving as much as he can there while Justin is pushing it as hard as he can. But I could be wrong, I'm just saying, what could be happening. And then when he's ready to turn it up, he turns it all the way up. So just got to pay attention and see.
Yeah, let's go back here to the 4th and 5th place spots. Got E.J. O'Rourke working over Scott Simley right now. They're going to go door to door right there as David Comstock still sitting in the 3rd place spot. Now they're roughly 2 to 3.5 seconds back from the group we were watching up front who are still battling it out.
Yeah, it's a long ways back there, 2 to 3 seconds, and if a caution comes out here, if it comes out here in the next, with 5 to go, it's over, that. So that only gives them 10 more laps. So if a caution comes out now, they might have a 10-lap shootout. That plays into the favor of Justin Fuller here. But right now, it looks like it's going to go green, and the 05 is still on the back bumper there of the 52. But a lot of these guys, man, they work their way up through the field, and they're looking good.
Yeah, watching this battle going on back here about the 7th on back spot. Look at these guys side by side back here.
Yeah, look, the 7 there, Jimmy Coleman. He's got the 2, Mike Kelly behind him. They're side by side.
Absolutely. Thomas Lattimore there too, Mike Kelly. Yeah, that's all for position right there. Now you see a couple trucks that are taking some pit stops. They're going to come on up through there like Nick Timms and whatnot. They're going to come through there because they're on newer set of tires. But we're getting down here to be 10 laps to go just watching this battle. Back up front just here a minute, see what Justin Fuller is. He's still, if he looks in his rearview mirror, he sees Trey. So he's close enough. If he makes a mistake, Trey can stomp on him. And it looks like Justin actually walked away just a little bit right there.
Yeah, it's been a little back and forth between those two. He'll gain on him and then he'll lose it. So it's kind of hard to see, exactly what they're doing. Maybe it's something to do with their strategy.
Well, I just got to go ahead and say it at this point here, Gerald. I don't think these two are coming in pit road. It's pretty much they're staying out. Yeah,
or running out.
Well, there you go. And I tell you what, now just that's true, because they're going to have to go another 10 laps. That's going to put them right at 62 lap run here. But they're looking good so far. They've got a pretty good lead over the 3rd place guy. He's holding a pretty good steady one here over Trey. And I tell you what, Justin is trying to do history here tonight because, folks, let's just get that race recap again. Justin Fuller out front. We've completed 139 of 150, and that old magical number that we just I have not seen. From the whole time that I've done broadcasting, I've never seen it. I'll just go ahead and say that. No lead changes and only 3 cautions.
Yeah, and he's dominated the last 2 races, he got caught up last race trying to come back up through the field there at Texas. So he didn't quite get the win that he deserved, and he comes back strong as ever here at Iowa. And he's led 140 laps, which is, I've not seen that either, Joe.
No, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've been broadcasting for a while now, and in any race, I have never seen anybody lead or flag to flag every lap. I mean, and he's about 8 laps away from doing it, and obviously he's only about 3 or 4 away from, if a caution comes out, from doing it. So that would, to me, in OSR Network history goes. He would set history. I don't know if the Sim500's had it done, but he's going to set an unprecedented mark. And like what you just said, Gerald, last week at Texas, he dominated. He messed up on pit road, got himself a penalty, got marred in traffic, and then the next thing you know, got caught up in a wreck. So, wow, to come back out here, that's a feat.
Yeah, he's very impressive to lead this many laps here in a league like Sim500. You know the stack field that they bring here. So he definitely owes himself a pat on the back after tonight's race, no matter how it ends.
No doubt about it. I mean, obviously, if he loses it on the last lap, loses this race from this point, he would say, look, I'd give all those other laps back to get that last one. So it's not over with at this point, even though we've got 6 to go, and to cross the line, the next time will be 5 to go. If a caution was to fly coming out of the next one here, folks, it would be over with. So that's what he's looking at. And obviously, the last one, lap 150. But man, Trey is there. If he just makes one mistake, I mean, I know at this point the nerves have got to be building on Justin's part.
Yeah, and when you get to 5 to go, that's a milestone when you're out leading a race, because you know that if the caution comes out now, this is my race, But then again, you got 5 more laps without getting passed by Trey. So he's definitely going to have the pressure put on him now by Trey. It's go time. And if Trey's got something for him, you'll find out right here.
And it looks like he has already stepped it up somewhat here. Trey has Edson back there behind him, because he's moving in every time he goes into the turns there to maybe try to see if he can't ruffle the feathers of Justin Fuller out front right now with 4 to go. Folks, there's a battle here, and man, there's a lot on the line. Obviously, the win for Justin Fuller, the newcomer here on the block, maybe the first win for him in his first ever race. But none other than that, Justin Fuller has led every lap from flag to flag. And man, it has been a good one. But look right here at this battle with 3 to go.
Yeah, and how many times have we said Justin Fuller? I mean, he's going to be proud when he comes back and watches this tonight at his performance tonight. He's definitely did the outstanding job tonight as he takes the 2 to go here as he crosses the start-finish line. Going to be 2 more times around. He's going to be able to park that thing and throw some champagne on that.
But I tell you what, he has got to be in that rearview mirror looking. The lap traffic up there, I don't know if it's going to play a factor here, but Trey's there. They're coming into turn 3 here tonight to take the white flag. But Trey's just want to maybe get a little bit closer there, maybe to take that air. He just can't quite move in. As the white flag's out, Gerald, one more time for this man to set history here tonight, flag to flag.
Yeah, and I would hate to see, Trey steal it from him at this point, because he's led every lap so far. But then again, it will be exciting to watch. But I don't think Trey's going to be able to get there as he comes off of turn number 4.
He's got it, turn 4 for the final time, and that man done it in a dominating style fashion. He led every lap tonight, folks, from flag to flag. I mean, you want to talk about phenomenal. Put it on pole, started on pole, led from the pole, and led every lap. And I know he's going to be ecstatic, Gerald. But you got to give hats off to that man who came in 3rd right there. Or 2nd place, Trey. Man, because that guy, he did everything he had to do to try to get around him.
Yeah, I mean, any of these guys, Justin Fuller, Trey Eisen, Dave Comstock, EJ O'Rourke, Scott Simley, all these guys put on a phenomenal performance tonight. Justin Fuller just put on a better performance. And, I mean, all those words could describe the performance he put on tonight, especially phenomenal.
Yeah, wow, phenomenal. Let's see if David Comstock, I don't see him in here. Give him a minute. He'll probably.
Sometimes he turns his radio on a little later, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean the chat out there. You're right there, Waylon. Man, I'm like you. My heart was pounding, and I'm not driving. I mean, could you just imagine what Justin was going through in them final laps? And Trey was trying everything he could to get him off that line out there. But what a run. And I can't take anything away, though, from David Comstock coming out here in third place here tonight, too, as we're just waiting for David to come up. But, man, Gerald, as a driver, what's it like knowing you just did something that not a lot of people can say they did?
Well, I can tell you what, he's probably sweating right now, because when you put on a performance like that, it usually takes a lot out of you, and you couldn't turn the AC down enough, or enough fans could stop the way that your body reacts. You know, there's something about when you're out on the track that it raises your heartbeat. You know, you'll go from 80 beats per minute to, 140. I don't know. It sometimes your heart rate just goes sky high out there, and it's just a product of being on the track with guys like this and being able to pull off a victory like he did here with the Sim500 guys. I mean, there's not a word that could describe how good he did tonight.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to bring up Trey here, the newcomer, and let you get a talk in with him, Gerald, because he did everything he possibly could do. And I'm going to say his first race. We'll find out here in just a second. But maybe what was going through his mind, if he could have done anything different. Let's bring up the second place man, Trey Edson.
Trey, it's Gerald West in the OSR Network booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, how do you pronounce your last name?
Edson.
Edson. All right. So, well, we might have screwed it up here a little bit, but maybe you can forgive us, man. Second, congratulations, man, on a phenomenal performance there. Finishing second tonight to Justin Fuller. I mean, he led every lap, so can't take nothing away from him, man. So tell us, we was looking at about 30 to go. We wasn't sure if you was going to be able to run him down or not. Was you holding back? Did you hold back too long, or did you just not have nothing?
I actually think I went too soon. Kind of showed my hand too soon because, yeah, like you said, he got out there about a second to a second and a half, and I was trying to save the right front tire, and ran him down, and then I think he kind of figured out what I was doing, and then my right front started to fade. So yeah, just showed my hand too soon. But I was so hard to pass. He was so fast. I don't know what I would have done if I got there without maybe roughing him up a little bit.
Well, you had that DC Solar Silverado looking good. It was flying mighty fast out there tonight. You think if you had a few more laps, you could have got around him?
We would have needed something crazy to happen, like lap traffic, maybe hold him up, or I don't know if you knew, but we had like a lap or two left of gas. So, I mean, if we maybe had some green flag pit stops, something like that. But I don't think I could have just straight up passed him on the racetrack in those circumstances.
Yeah, I knew y'all was going to be close on gas. You know, I seen y'all run around 62 laps there on that first run, and you had about 62 or 3 to go here on this last run. So, I mean, one heck of a cycle on those tires. I mean, it's a wonder you got that thing to turn out there, but you had a phenomenal performance tonight, and hey, man, we enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys broadcasting the race. Thanks, Sim500. Ran this. I was in the league about a year ago. Took a break, and tonight's actually my first night back, so it's a good result.
Yeah, we kind of caught on to that. We was looking through, trying to do some research on you and stuff, and man, we seen you up there. We was wondering who is that, but hey, man, glad to have you back. Congratulations on your run tonight. It's just unfortunate you didn't get to bring home the victory. Maybe next week. Anybody you want to thank?
Just you guys for doing this, and Sim500. That's pretty much it. No sponsors on this one. And yeah, hope I get to talk to you a lot more.
Hey, we started second, finished second. Great job.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
All right, there you go, Trey Edson right there. Man, he did everything he could. Like you said, started second, and he finished it out in second. And just like what we thought or was talking about, Gerald, and just what I thought, catching and passing, he had everything he could to catch him. Just hard to pass here and just didn't think he had enough. But we got the third place man, Dave Comstock, who started 19th. Well, he finished this thing in third. Let's bring him up here and let's get talking with him.
David Comstock, you got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, we ain't seen you since you brought home the win there. I believe it was Dover.
Yeah, I've been busy personally where I couldn't make Wednesday nights lately. So, but glad to be back. Should have talked to you guys last week, but had some unfortunate circumstances happen where we couldn't pull it off. So, good to get a top 3 to recover. Not the win though, but it's still really good as far as points go. Trying to make up for not being here the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, you started 19th, you finished 3rd in that Gary Mercer Trucking Monster Energy Silverado. Nice looking paint job, by the way. How was your race, man? What helped you out there?
Had to conserve the right front. I burnt that off really bad that first run, and so I learned what I needed to do for the second half of the race and applied that, and had already got myself up to at least the top 10 by that point. Qualifying was disastrous. I did a horrible job on that. So, but once we got ourselves established in the top 10 and working what we needed to work with, try to get ourselves up further, conserving the right front tire and figuring out the track, the surface, the grip we had at nighttime. It was kind of, you had a lot of grip in some places and then it would move around a lot. So trying to keep up with the track and all that. Would have preferred it being daytime because that really thins out the field and it separates kind of the men from the boys because it gets super slick here. So I like it daytime rather than night if it was preferred.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. But hey, man, you managed to come up through the field and stay out of trouble there and bring it home in 3rd. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, everybody Aftermath Motorsports, teammates we had tonight, Trey Edson, Justin Fuller, congrats on him on the win, and EJR Work. Top 4 of us, we all took it top 4 there, so that was really awesome. Gary Mercer Trucking, Monster Energy, JD Laird, JDR Graphics for the nice looking paint scheme we got going here. Thanks to him. EJ Brakes, Hick and Jicks. You guys for broadcasting. Sim500, the leagues, all the fans watching, friends, family. Thank you guys.
Hey, man, glad to have you back up here, man. Well, you did an excellent job out there tonight. Finished 3rd, David Comstock.
All right, like I said right there, David Comstock, man, he came from 19th all the way up. And I'm going to tell you what, and this guy right here, I know, man, he's probably got to be, like you said, in front of the AC cooling down because he has done something that I'm going to say that I don't think anybody has done in the Sim500 history, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'll definitely get a hold of that information from Joey Katina. But we're down here in Victory Lane with the man, Justin Fuller, Joe White in the booth, Guy Cop.
Yeah, we got you.
Man, look, when they say domination, boy, you just made a new mark, flag to flag. How was those closing laps knowing that you about just said history here, that you just led every lap of this race here at Iowa to win it?
Oh, it was great. I mean, Trey definitely kept me honest there. I think he was a little better than me there towards the 3/4 mark run, but then we kind of evened off together, and it was going to be a battle. I still think he had a little edge on me there at the end. He just couldn't quite get there, and it was a fun race. I love this track. Iowa's probably hands down my favorite track right now.
You know, last week you dominated, messed up on pit road, got marred in traffic back there and got caught up in a wreck. This week you come back here full force, swinging, man, everything you got. Put it on pole, started out front, and you finished it out front. Did you think coming into this place you were going to put on that kind of dominating performance?
You never know what's going to happen, and anything can happen in these races. Like you said last week, I had a great run going, and we were leading the race, and I was really going for those bonus points because I haven't run every race this season. I'm about 4 races shy, so trying to get all the bonus points that I can, and I ran out of gas and spun it out on the pit road and put me a lap down, and when we restarted there, I took the wave around. I was on 5 lap older tire than everybody else, and I was just trying to work my way up through the field as best as possible, and got a little neck code crash there on the front stretch, but that's just how things go. I mean, it's racing, things happen, and it happens in a hurry, and that's part of it,
Well, what a bounce back. I tell you, like I say, from a disastrous week to an awesome week this week. Now, the newcomer, Trey, I mean, that guy, like you just said, kept you honest out there, but he was in your rear view mirror all night long. Was it making you a little nervous? Did you think maybe he had you, or what was you just trying to concentrate on your line up front?
I try not to mirror drive too much. Trey's a teammate of mine, so I know how he drives, I know how he races, and I knew he wasn't going to do anything crazy. You know, he's gonna run me clean, and it was a fun race. Like I said, he kept me honest. I had to be perfect the entire night. If I made one slip up, he'd have gotten right by me, and that would have been it.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, you were perfect from the start to the finish, on qualifying, on pole. Everything been matched out perfect for you tonight, pit stops and all, and you put it in victory lane here for the Sim500 Wednesday Night Truck Series presented by SimSpeedShop.com here at Iowa. Justin, you got anybody you want to thank?
First off, I want to thank Joey Katina and all the admins at Sim500. Not just Joey, every single one of them. They put a lot of time and effort into this league, and to see the car counts booming and having a great race like we had tonight. You know, we didn't have many cautions. I believe we only had 3 cautions tonight, so that was really good for a short track. Gotta thank you guys for broadcasting. I go back and watch these things when I'm bored at home and I got nothing to do, rainy day. I'm like, oh, let's go watch the broadcast from last week. Gonna thank Sim Speed Shop first off for sponsoring this series. I also want to thank Hitman Racewear for sponsoring the Sunday night series and the Trans Service for sponsoring the Monday night series. Thank everybody that races in this league. It's a fun place to race, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I tell you what, a lot of the competition out there is going to say, because he just taking a week off after tonight. But nonetheless, again, congratulations on putting in victory lane. Justin Fuller, domination here tonight at Iowa.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, well, tell you what, let's get an unofficial results order here tonight. Because, man, what a race. That man right there led it from flag to flag. Justin Fuller won it tonight here. Trey Etzen, a new man out front. He started in second, finished second right there tonight. David Comstock up in the third. E.J. O'Rourke in the fourth. Scott Simley in fifth. Milt Matisse up to sixth. Justin Roden there in seventh. Jimmy Coleman in eighth. Thomas Lattimore in the ninth. Around the top 10, Mike Kelly. Looked through the rest of the field. Well, some guys had some good nights. Some had bad. But I tell you what a race it was here. I did not expect to see what we saw out here tonight, Gerald.
Yeah, me neither, man. And hats off to all the guys over here at Sim500 for putting on a great performance here tonight. Did have a few cautions, wasn't quite as many as we thought it might have been, and it made for an exciting race. So congratulations to all the guys that finished up front. And man, I'm so glad to see Justin come back after losing out on that win last week when he was pretty much dominating there at Texas. He come back in here and he showed that he was ready, and he did it.
Yes, he did. Well, folks, I tell you what, we're going to leave Iowa. And, man, the man right there, Justin Fuller, putting it in victory lane, making some history tonight, winning it from flag to flag. So if you enjoyed it, go back, man, and watch it again. For myself and Gerald up here in the booth, for everybody from the Sim500 here tonight, we appreciate you coming out and supporting it here. Everyone, have a good night.